They laughed when I brought a simple gift, called me the valet. Even my daughter looked embarrassed. But then, a woman I helped on the highway walked in. And when she said my name, the entire room froze. What she did next. It cost them a $250,000. Dealing gave me something I thought I'd lost forever. What happened next changed everything. The moment I walked into the Thompsons' mansion, 42 minutes late, my shirt stained with grease and sweat, I felt the shift in the room. The music didn't stop, but the whispers got louder. Every glance said the same thing. You don't belong here. I had skipped lunch to get here on time, bought a $150 bottle of Glenlivet for the birthday boy. Even shined my old leather shoes till they looked almost new. But one decision changed it all. I was driving down I-5 near when I saw her, a woman standing next to a stalled Audi Q7 with smoke curling from under the hood. 3 Teslas and a Mercedes passed her by without slowing. I pulled over. The alternator belt was fried. I had tools in the back. 45 minutes later, her engine hummed back to life. I didn't ask for her name. She offered me cash. I refused. Now, here I was, standing in a marble foyer, smelling like motor oil, watching my daughter look away as if she didn't know me. And I hadn't even seen the worst of it yet. It started with a simple text, "Dad, don't be late. And please wear something nice. I mean it." I stared at that message longer than I should have. She didn't mean it to hurt, but it did. I'm Donald Campbell, 58, retired. Auto tech. I spent 30 years fixing other people's problems with a wrench and grit. I never made 6 figures, but I never owed anyone either. Rachel, my only daughter, is married to Colin Thompson. His family owns Thompson Tech. Old money meets new startups. Think Napa Estates, ski trips in Aspen, legacy wealth. They were throwing a birthday party for Colin's father at their mansion in West Lynn. I got the invite 2 weeks late. I wasn't offended. Not really. Just surprised they remembered me at all. I ironed my best shirt, navy blue, bought a fresh pair of khakis, shined the only shoes I own that aren't steel-toed. I even stopped by Total Wine and grabbed a $150 bottle of Glenlivet single malt. 18 years because someone once told me, never show up to a rich man's house empty-handed that morning. Rachel called. "Dad, just please don't make this hard. They're big on first impressions. Am I still part of your first impression, wretch?" She paused, then hung up. That silence said more than any insult ever could. I left early. Traffic on I-5 was light. I might have even made it on time if it weren't for that silver Audi smoking on the shoulder. It was instinct. I didn't even think. The woman looked panicked. Designer heels, business suit, zero clue how engines work. Said her name was Lauren. Alternator belt busted clean through. I told her I'd try. Used duct tape, zip ties, and prayer. Took 45 minutes. My shirt soaked with sweat, my knuckles scraped, but I got her running again. She offered cash. I waved it off. She smiled, thanked me 3 times, and took off down the road. I looked at my watch. 3:42 p.m. The party started at 3 sharp. I pulled into the Thompsons' circular driveway just before 4. Mansion like something out of a Netflix series. Black Range Rovers lined up like military vehicles. I caught my reflection in the glass door, oil on my collar, dirt on my khakis, a grease smear across my cheek. Too late to fix it now. I took a breath and rang the bell. Colin opened the door. His eyes flicked down to my shoes. "You single quotes re ... here." That was all he said. Colin barely moved aside to let me in. I stepped into the foyer, marble floors, high ceilings, chandelier that probably cost more than my entire house. I clutched the gift bag tighter, suddenly conscious of the sweat on my palms. "Dad, Rachel." It peered from the hallway. Her eyes scanned me like TSA. I could almost see the checklist in her head. Shirt, wrinkled, pants, dusty ... face, grease smudge, right cheek ... She smiled, tight and uncomfortable. "You're here." "Yeah, I brought the scotch." I held out the bag. She didn't take it. I'll go grab Colin. Just ... wait here." "Okay." She vanished before I could answer. I walked slowly into the living room. Guests stood around white leather furniture, sipping champagne. A jazz quartet played softly near the sliding glass doors. Everyone wore tailored suits, pastel dresses. I spotted a guy in a Rolex checking his phone like time owed him something. No one looked at me, but they saw me. I set the gift on a side table and stood awkwardly near a potted plant like I was part of the decor. A woman walked past and wrinkled her nose. Guest whispers, "Who let the valet inside?" Laughter. A man clapped a hand on my shoulder. Gerald Thompson, the birthday boy himself, tanned, lean teeth to white. Colin didn't tell me we were doing charity cases today. He laughed. I didn't. I nodded politely and walked away before I lost my temper. Out on the patio, I stood alone, watching the koi fish swirl in $1 million pond. I could hear Rachel laughing inside, not the real laugh, but the forced one she uses at networking events. A waiter passed by with eight hors d'oeuvres. I reached for one. He hesitated, then offered it like he'd rather I didn't touch the tray. I took one anyway. Then the engine purr of a luxury car broke through the background noise. A silver Audi Q7 pulled into the driveway. I knew that hum. Doors opened, heads turned. Lauren Whitfield stepped out, heels clicking on stone, silk blouse flawless, sunglasses that probably cost more than my monthly rent. Rachel whispered something too. Colin Gerald raised an eyebrow. Lauren walked in like she owned the place. Someone muttered, "That's her." The investor, she scanned the room, then her eyes landed on me. She smiled and crossed the room straight toward me. "Mr. Campbell, we meet again." HI3. The room went still the moment Lauren spoke my name. "Mr. Campbell, we meet again." All eyes turned. Colin's jaw tightened. Rachel looked like she forgot how to breathe. Lauren extended her hand like we were old friends. "This is the man who saved me today in 90-degree heat. No questions asked, covered in grease, and still smiling." Gerald tense. "You know him. He's the only reason I made it here." My car died on the highway. Not one person stopped, except him. A silence dropped over the crowd like a lead curtain. "Well, how about that? A man of humble service." His voice dripped sarcasm. Lauren didn't smile. "A man of integrity." She looked around the room, because I'll be honest, I've been here 20 minutes and haven't seen a fraction of the decency he showed me in 4. Some guests shifted uncomfortably. Others sipped champagne like it was armor. You know what I noticed when I walked in? Everyone pretending, fake laughs, tight smiles, no one asking real questions, no one caring unless it benefits them. She turned toward Gerald. "I came here to discuss a $250,000 investment in your venture. I was told this was a family built on values." Gerald tight smile. "We are, though clearly our definitions differ." Clearly. She glanced back at me. "You want to know who you're doing business with? Watch how they treat someone who owes them nothing." Gerald tried to recover. "Now hold on, let's not overreact. Donald here's family. He's just a little." Lauren cuts in. "A little what? Underpaid? Underdressed? To decent?" She took a deep breath. "I've seen enough." She pulled a leather portfolio from her bag. "I'm withdrawing. My offer? Effective immediately." She handed it to Gerald. He stared at it like it was a live grenade. "There are plenty of companies with great ideas, but I don't invest in people who fake ethics in boardrooms and fail it in backyards." Gasps, whispers. Rachel turned pale. Colin clenched his fist. "Rachel," softly, to me. "Dad, I'm sorry." I didn't answer. Lauren nodded to me once more. "Thank you again, Mr. Campbell, for helping me when no one else would. That tells me everything I need to know." She walked out, not storming, not rushed, just calm, in control, poised, and left the Thompsons standing in their $1 million shame. The party fizzled out like a champagne bottle left open. Too long, no more laughter, no more smug smiles, just silence, thick and uncomfortable. I walked out quietly, head high, hands still stained with grease. The night air felt cooler now, fresher, like it respected me more than the people inside ever did. As I reached my car, I heard footsteps behind me, leaving without saying goodbye. I turned. She was there, coat over her shoulders, portfolio still in hand. Didn't want to ruin the mood any more than I already had. She smiled. "You didn't ruin anything. You revealed everything." We stood in silence for a moment. Then she said something I'll never forget. "The world needs more people like you. People who do the right thing when no one's watching. People who show up even late, with a good heart." That good heart nearly cost me my daughter tonight. She shook her head. "No." It revealed who's willing to stand with you, and who isn't. A few days later, Rachel called, tears in her voice. Regret in every word. "I didn't defend you, Dad. I let them talk down to you like you were less. I'm so sorry I didn't yell. I didn't guilt her. I just said, character isn't about never making mistakes. It's about what you do after them." And for the first time in years, she called me Dad without flinching. Lauren and I kept in touch. We had coffee, laughed, talked about everything from vintage engines to business ethics, romance. No strings, just mutual respect. One afternoon she said, "You ever think about starting something of your own?" I raised an eyebrow. Like what? A kindness consultancy. She laughed. Why not? You've got more wisdom in your hands than most people have in their boardrooms. And maybe she was right, because for the first time in a long time, I felt seen. Not for the dirt under my nails, but for the values in my veins. End of story. Sometimes, the people who look down on you the most are the ones who are standing on nothing. Donald showed us something rare. The courage to do the right thing, even when it costs you. In a world obsessed with appearances, wealth, and convenience. Real character is quiet, but powerful. It's in the hands that stop to help a stranger. It's in the heart that stays kind, even when disrespected. It's in the dignity of a man who walks away from judgment with his head held high. Don't let anyone shame you for your honesty, your job, your past, or your kindness. That's your power, not your weakness. If you've ever felt like you didn't belong in the room, if you've ever been looked down on for being less than, just remember this. The real worth of a person is never measured in dollars, but in how they show up when it matters most. So to everyone out there working hard, doing right, and getting overlooked, we see you. We honor you. Keep going. Drop a comment and tell us. Have you ever been judged unfairly but proved them wrong in the end? Your story might inspire someone who needs to hear it today. Like and subscribe. Brivenge never sleeps under the porch.